How's it going, fellow indie game enthusiasts? I hope you're having a wonderful day and you're ready for some hardcore isometric ARPG awesomeness, because today we are finally checking out the full version of Tower of Kalamonvo. I covered the demo a couple of months ago, that was an early demo, and now the full version is here and I think it is extremely cool. It is currently on very positive on Steam, but what is Tower of Kalamonvo? Crawl to the top of the tower, a hardcore isometric ARPG with randomly generated levels meant for fans of slower paced action games. Fight cultists and monsters, scavenge for magical loot, learn powerful spells, and fully customize your stat and skills. So basically imagine the old, the good, the Diablo 1-ish ARPG where you are only having the dungeon as, for example, like a tower, and you have to get through it without going back, resupplying, and waiting for any help because help is not coming. So without further ado, let's check out how the full version of Tower of Kalamonvo plays. Welcome, fellow traveler. If you like indie games as much as I do, please don't forget clicking all the nice buttons on the screen because it helps out the channel a lot. And if you are an indie dev who needs their game tested or covered, please send me an email to the email address on the screen. And now, back to the game. Of course, I'm going to start a fully new game, so let's open those gates, start game, and we can choose from male and female, of course female character. Let's proceed, and let's see. So which two weapons will you bring to aid you in your quest? Be warned, the tower expects much of you. Be flexible and adapt to your surroundings. And this is what I really like, because we choose two weapons now, but it doesn't mean that we have to use them all along. So we will find a bunch of really cool stuff. We can opt out to different types of weapons and, you know, all the great things. So we got a sword, a bow, a wand, and a shield. And I'd like to start with a bow and also a wand, because I'm a huge fan of ranged gameplay. So ranged physical and ranged magical. Despair mode and Iron Man mode? I don't think so. We are just starting the game on the basic difficulty. So let's begin quest. So here we are in the lower dungeons, and look at the graphics. Enhanced a lot since the demo we covered. And really quickly, just click H as the help button so we can see how to play. So left click to move and interact, holding left click achieves the same effect as clicking multiple times. Finally, we don't have to spam, really awesome. Hold right click prevents movement, press right click will cast the selected skill shown next to the mana orb. Check damage values by pressing C, which will open the stats page. Stats can increase your damage, health, mana, and many other values. Level up and equip better gear to increase stats. Other standard hotkeys include S for spellbook, I for inventory, tab for the minimap, and the left alt to toggle highlight items on the ground. I also toggled an option where we can see the enemy health bars as like outlines, and I really like this, because if you hold the cursor on an enemy, you can see the outline, how healthy it is, and if you are damage it, this will turn from green to orange, then to red, and eventually they will die. I really love this idea. So let's click the highlight item. Show minimap, of course, it is a must in most of the ARPGs. So what I like about this game is that it is focusing on truly on exploration, leveling up, uncovering mysteries, resource management, and all the great stuff. So let's just check out how well we can survive, how fast we can take down enemies. This is a goal. So let's click the right click, and of course we are standing in place. Really cool. Of course, holding down shift, just like in other ARPGs, will prevent our character from proceeding onwards, so we can just stay there and use our really nice bow to take down those cultists and skeletons and other monsters. The game features a bestiary, so if you take down enemies, as you can see, there is a kill count, so kills 1. Once you kill an enemy for the first time, it will unlock like a bestiary entry, so you can read about them. There's a credit section as well, and also in the flavor text, the game states that there is no currency in the game, you cannot restock, you cannot go back, no one is going to help you, so you are alone and you have to fight through your ways through the tower, the top of the tower. Okay, so of course, oh, that was a really lucky start because we have a really nice bow. A simple bow of Ember, more damage, attack rating is 5, and normal attack speed, and adds 1 fire damage. So, open Combat Arts hotkey, which is A. And thanks to that, we will have different types of things we can unlock thanks to the weapon we are using. So this is Elemental Shot, requires Dexterity 11, costs 2 mana. Hastily apply a touch of magic on the arrow before letting it loose, applies a random damage type on impact. So of course, we are going to blast a few dexterity points really soon, so we can check out that elemental arrow thing, but also I'm going to apply some mana increasing thing and also apply some, not mistaken, 2 things, because this game has mind and intelligence. So mind is going to increase my maximum mana and every 5 points increase the lower and upper damage of wands. We are also possessing a wand, so we will opt out to a wand to check out that gameplay really soon, or maybe after we found a really awesome like magical one. And we have intelligence, which measures your memory and understanding of magical items, books and spells. High intelligence increases spell via slot amounts. Okay, take down a bunch of skeletons with our really awesome newly acquired bow. And as you can see, the highlight is changing, or not changing because we one-shot the enemy. Music is extremely great, a mixture between like ambient noise, drums and some ominous sounding instruments. Really cool. There is like an autosave thing when you enter to a next level, but you are highly advised to do manual saves for yourself. So this is what I'm going to do. Since we leveled up, I just go there, save, empty slot, Tiger 1, press enter and save successful, because of course we can you know, just reload a bunch of save points. So if we go there somewhere and we screwed up, got taken by a bunch of enemies or things like that, we just reload that save point and maybe we can go and try a different tactic. Oh, look at this, another magical item, really blasty. I also leveled up and I forgot to spend my XP, which is a really bad thing. Don't do that, because in this game getting a new level means a huge change for your character, so spend all your points immediately. Let's just kill this guy. This guy looks like straight out of PoE. Let's just open C. And what about, so dexterity to 11, because in this case, dude, let me level up, come on, thank you. So in this case, we got the elemental arrow, elemental shot, so I just press right click, okay. So it's not just putting elemental stuff on my arrow and I have to shoot it with the left click. With the right click, it will shoot an arrow immediately. So as you can see, the first one was frost and this was, I don't know, bleeding, something like that. Okay, in a safe position, and let's see what we found. Hardened leather helmet of virility. Dodge 0, armor 2, this is dodge 4 and armor 1, and increase health by 3, increase item armor by 200% at the cost of dodge. I think this is a great thing that we can use, and this is the Wand of the Apprentice, which I put in here if we want to check out how the Wand gameplay works. So mind is going to increase our maximum mana and increase the lower and upper damages by 1 for every 5 points. So let's just, you know, just do 2 mind points, maybe another dexterity. And what about agility? Agility is going to increase the dodge, measure your footwork, flexibility and speed. You know, maybe we need speed. I love movement speed and attack speed in games. So I just changed to a wand and let's see how it works. Okay, this is a really fast one immediately. Maybe not the best idea to attack these guys from close range, because wands are ranged weapons after all. Okay, let's just move out. Of course, it's not going to deal that amount of damage because our bow is much better that we found. So I'm just going to opt back to it. And if we got bored of the bow gameplay, you know, we just change to a wand and have a great time. And as the game stated, We are starting costless, which I really like. In this case, there is no pre-made path or whatever. You can customize your character fully, and if you start with a weapon or like a direction, later on you can say that, well, that was great for a while, but I found a different good item or something like that. I'm just going to try that one and maybe I like it. And if I don't like it, maybe spend a few points on that specific type of thing to increase your strength or agility or dexterity or whatever. Well, the other one was working better for me, so I just changed back and, you know, try to do what helps us to survive the best way possible. Okay. Bunch of potions, really good. And the alchemy table is extremely awesome because, as you can see, I don't have enough mana potions. I got a bunch of HP potions, so what about changing some into mana potions? Really like this feature. It's a small thing, but it feels pretty neat. Also, there is a teleportation. Find exit to enable teleportation. We are going to teleport to the nearest exit. So if we want to start again or just move around the level, we're trying to find stuff that maybe we forgot, or there is a place we haven't discovered properly. We just go to you know, the entrance or someplace else, but mainly the entrance, and start to explore again, or just going through much faster the levels. So here is the first elite, Whole Head Enclave. So let's see how he stands my elemental arrows. Pretty persistent, really fast, so I'm just moving away a bunch of times. Oh boy, he's dealing really big damage. So I'm just guiding him, of course. Classic RPG tactics. And the outline was pretty red, so I felt that it's going to end really soon. So look at this. We found a bunch of really good things. This is the simple bow I'm going to discard because we don't use it. Resistance to poison, 4 armor and 0 dodge. But since we do not possess any armor, I'm going to equip it, which is going to increase our poison resistance. So this is a large axe cluttering our inventory, so I'm just going to get rid of it. A bunch of spell books to use. I'm going to keep the shield, equip it with the wand. Let's drop this one because this is a normal item as well. And of course, we got a really nice Elf Blood Club, dealing a bunch of damage, normal attack speed, and 2 agility. So I'm just going to keep it just in case. Maybe we wanna opt out and check out a wand or a club, how to, you know, play with that. Okay, let's see. This is learning at a cost of spirits. Awesome. And of course, what I like mostly in ARPGs is the discovery. I usually discover the whole map, like 100% if I can, and seemingly this game rewards you for discovering the full map. So I'm just going to do that, and I'm extremely happy about this. Okay, so let's see what we can do with these like weaker enemies. We are taking them down with 1 hit, but I do suspect it will be a bunch of tougher enemies here and there. Of course, dodging is a key element, so I try to dodge as much as possible because these cultists are dealing a huge amount of fire damage to me. Let's just slow this guy, and we are stronger. Really good. So with the S, we can open the spell wheel, but currently we are not possessing normal spells. We are just having this ability for the bow. So look at this, Book of Fireball and Book of Slow. So now we are having a bunch of spells as well. So for example, if we change to the wand, I can just use a bunch of cool spells. For example, the Fireball. So if I press F1, it's going to bind the Fireball here, and I press F2, and Slow is now an F2. So pressing F1, changing it to the Fireball. Okay, back to C. And is there anything we'd like to have? No. So dexterity measures your precision and hand-to-eye coordination. So dexterity measures your precision and hand-to-eye coordination. Every 2 points increase attack rating by 1. So let's just give it. 2 points. Strength measures your physical prowess and limits. Every 5 points increases the lower and upper damage of melee weapons. So we are not using melee weapons at the moment. Let's just blast this wand a bit. Okay. So I would say agility +1. You know, making kind of like a rainbow build here. Just putting 1 point to every single stat I can. Oops, okay, the fireball is just incinerating them, but it's going to consume a bunch of mana, of course. But I really like the VFX for the spell. It's pretty cool. I remember comments when I checked out the demo that, well, I thought that if someone is going to remake Diablo 1 in modern times, it's going to be better, but it's basically the same. And I have to argue. I do understand that this game can be a hit or miss. So if you're looking for like a more modern ARPG experience, this game may prove slow to you or maybe a little bit redundant. But I think this game does a bunch of things better than Diablo 1. So, of course, arguing about opinions or taste is pointless. So this is my own opinion. So let's just go around. And a bunch of doors. Ooh, a bunch of enemies. Just go out. Of course, the classic thing is working, that we just stand out of the door with the bow, and as they try to go out, we just snipe them down. And it feels really great, in my opinion. So of course, there will be bosses. In the demo, I think I took down one boss. It was pretty brutal. But you know, the fact that we cannot go back and you have to manage your resources better than in a game where you can just go back and, you know, I don't know, sell some items, get a bunch of coin, turn it into other things that you are missing, gives you a comfort that, okay, I'm not dodging those enemies because I can still use a bunch of potions. HP potions are limitless in ARPGs most of the time, so you just go back to the town, buy a few, and well, job done, and we go back and take them down. But here, that's not possible. So of course, maybe not the best idea cluttering my inventory with a bunch of potions, but I do think that currently we are dealing a nice amount of damage, having a good progress, so I just stock on potions because in this case we can survive much longer, and hopefully we can see the first boss in the game in this video. Okay, so the thing I forgot is save the game. So we are overwriting that save. So hopefully we are not dying, but of course if we die, I just reload that save and we continue from that point. Okay, let's just use some of the right click abilities. So I'm also trying to be not so wasteful with my abilities that are consuming mana, but of course sometimes that's not a good idea. So you have to figure out what works best based on the situation. So like many enemies, should I take them down as soon as possible? Can I dodge them as much as I can? Can I keep them away so I can, like, you know, normal hit them from afar and they cannot approach me at all? We will see. Okay, bunch of big enemies. I'm going to blast a couple of mana points on my arrow so we can keep them away. These are tough ones, so my tactic is just go around, snipe them out from afar, and that proved pretty useful. Okay, let's just get more mana. And of course sometimes I just toggle off the mini-map because it hinders my vision to get away from enemies. The only thing I like to see in this game so far is the option to, you know, change the opacity of the minimap. So if it's like transparent a bit, we can see through it, and gives us a really nice way to check out the directions and also dodge projectiles, enemies, and stuff like that. So when a bunch of enemies are here, I usually just turn off the minimap a bit, and then I instantly turn it back when the fight is over. Okay. Let's get there. It's huge guys. They are the maulers. I'm not sure if there are any like achievements based on the kill count. I think that would be great. But of course we will see. And of course, leveling is really slow after a while. So we got the first 2 levels pretty easily, but now, as you can see, I'm only at half level and I took down a bunch of enemies. But I think this is a really great and refreshing experience next to all the modern ARPGs where you just zoom out stuff. I know PoE 2 is much slower than the other modern ARPGs. I like PoE 2, but definitely needs some work. So this is why I'm checking out this game at the moment, because I had this ARPG itch to scratch and I just wanted to go back and be able to experience something that is meant to be slower and more like an old school vibe. And of course, I could have played Diablo 1 with the buzzable mod and stuff like that, but definitely not. And this is a cool indie project that came out a few days ago. I covered the demo and I'd really like to give some publicity, or we can argue how much publicity my channel gives to a game. But of course, I'd really like to cover all the cool titles I check out in my spare time, and hopefully some of you will see the video and pick up the game based on my video. So we found the exit, but there is one unexplored room, so I just go there. And there are some snarling from here, so maybe I missed... Oh yeah, I missed a bunch of enemies. So potential experience lost is not what I like to have in the RPG. Of course, having the same sound for these enemies when they are dying is kinda redundant, but of course it is understandable. But maybe, you know, having as... Oh boy, now they are blasting a bunch of fireballs to my face. Ooh, there is something truly unique. Silver skull. What can we do with that? A jewel shaped like a skull might be of use to someone, which is valuable. So maybe we can use it for some exchange or trade or whatever. And of course, there are a bunch of elements in this game where they don't really see what you can use it for. So this was pretty mysterious, might be used for someone. So we might have to find someone who needs a skull. Who would need a skull? A traveler, a witch, maybe a merchant who's stuck here. I don't know. We sacrifice stuff, but thanks to skulls, open a portal, exchange it to something, craft better weapons. Who knows? But we will discover, hopefully. So this is discharge spell, rusty sword, and flimsy wooden shield. We already have the shield, so I'm not going to pick it up. Let's just use this one, so it's not clattering our things. Also dropping this gloves, because we already have the same type of gloves. Okay, let's go and discover that thing. And now, when we fully discover the first level, the lower dungeon, I just click the teleportation button and we do not have to run through the whole dungeon once again. And I think this is pretty neat. Hopefully we can get a level before we go to the next one. Oh yes, I feel stronger. HP is being regenerated, but mana is not being regenerated on level, as far as I know. Or maybe I'm mistaken. Ooh, even more places to discover. Bunch of other spells that we got. So I'm just going to increase my dexterity, because we are blasting the bow. Because this bow plays and feels really nice. Who knows, later on, maybe we will find a much better one, so we can take down the enemies. I really like how they die bloodied and, I don't know, discarded. Pretty blasty. Fetish idol. Okay. So this is definitely something we could use with this wand. So this is going to add poison damage. Let's put it there. And we also picked up a amulet, which is increased health by 1. Awesome. Okay, we spent all the points at HP. So we are entering this room with full HP. Because as I suspected, many more enemies. We only fought one elite monster, if I get this right, so maybe there are more elites somewhere. And also, when we hit enemies with a bow, it is staggering them, so we can stop their advancement towards us. I really like that. Okay, pretty cool. As far as I know, there's only one exit from every map, so for some reason I thought that, oh boy, this place looks really long, so maybe there's like another exit, but as far as I know, there are no like multiple exits from a level. So we just fully discover the map as I mentioned. Of course, the color scheme and color palette of the game is a bit different than the classic Diablo 1 because it was more like grayish and reddish and other like really dark hues, but as you can see, we are having pretty bright colored armor and stuff like that, and I think this is a really nice addition to the whole scene because everything is dark and gray and shadowy, but we can see our character much easier thanks to the colorful armors. I'm not sure this was intentional or just, I don't know, a easy solution, but I love it. Of course, taking down barrels with not full HP is not a good idea, because if you remember, we have a bunch of exploding barrels in most of the RPGs, so it's maybe not the best idea, but of course, if you are using a ranged weapon, maybe this is excusable. Okay, so we discovered the first level fully, so use teleportation, really awesome effect, some foggy teleportation stuff, and entering the forgotten pathway. Okay, let's just really quickly save. We got an autosave thanks to entering another level, but I just wanted to go extremely sure. So +1 agility, resistance to lightning, increase item dodge by 67%. Okay, so seemingly same type of enemies. Okay, get another mana potion. Normal club, no thank you. But let's just change a bit and let's see what happens. So for example, if I have this fetish, which is going to give me poison damage, am I poisoning with my fireball as well? Okay, so one hitting fellas with fireball. Really fun gameplay. But let's press S. And we got the Ice Spike, the Bloodlust, and the Shocking Discharge. Cost 3 mana, Cast 3 frozen spikes in an arc. Multiple spikes can hit the same enemy. Each spike deals 2 cold damage and slows. And we got zap off foes who dare come close in a small area around you. Deal 2 lightning damage. Let's just press F2 on this one. Really good. Chug a mana potion. And let's see how the freezing one works. Of course, I know I don't possess the most amount of usable attribute points. Oh boy. This looks bad. I do think this is going to be a boss or something like that. So just really quickly, go here. What is this? Enchanter's Lifeblood. So if I put it...
I can't do that.
Ah, okay, because this one is already enchanted. So what would you say? We have this one, we have this one. Okay, the gloves are normal, so I click on it and we got some nice enhancement. Increase item dodge by 200%, 2 dodge and 1 armor. Okay. Chug a potion. Put only health potions here. And let's go face whoever is there. Uh-huh. Oh yeah, here's the first boss, I'm pretty sure. Okay, some laughter. Oh, look at the cape we are having. Really good. Is it like a griffin? Blasty. Uh-oh. And do this called Bloodsoaked guard. Uh-oh. He's slowing us. Okay, chuck some mana potion. Let's see how well we can... Oh, this guy is draining our mana. Okay, that's not really nice of you, my friend. So what is going to happen? I change back here. Stop draining my mana. Okay, so based on his outline, we dealt a little damage to it. But maybe the best idea is when he stops trying to take our mana and stuff like that, we just hit it there. because he's dealing a bunch of damage with the hit. So I just chug a potion and the other one. So of course maybe wasting as much potions as you can, taking down the first boss is not the best idea. But there's a cauldron of something, so maybe we can use it to replenish some HP. So let's just go there, change the weapon, slow this guy down, change back, and no, that's not a good idea. But we are pretty close on taking him down. So maybe I just blast a bunch of stuff into it and use my potion. Can we? Please? Oh boy, that's going to be bad. Yes, okay, we took it down. We used a bunch of potions, unfortunately, but reg armor of Sading and also a much better wooden shield. So if I click on it, will I get HP? No. We got something else called Healing Light and Dark Pact. Restores your mana for a price. Every third use permanently lowers your mana by 2. And restores your health for a price. Every third use permanently lowers your health by 2. Wow. So these are like last resort save spells, if you will. It's pretty cool. So now we have a bunch of extra slot in the inventory, which I like, of course, but would have been nice to take down this guy without using that much of my potions, but you know, one cannot have it all. Okay, so let's just move these and inspect the new loot we got. What about this one? Increase mana by 3, poison resistance, dodge 4, and armor 1. So I'm just going to change that. Really nice colorful item again. Increase mana and +1 to mind. So maybe that's the best idea to give to my character. And then let's just discover. Okay, discarded bodies, dismembered body. Okay, chill, my friend. Okay, let's just go around and let's go to the next level, and hopefully we can take down a few more nasty enemies. Lower dungeons too. Oh, if we press Z, this one is changing the slots. Okay, I wasn't sure about it. Is it in the help? No, it's not. It's not in the help menu. Combat arts. Okay, so maybe that would be a really nice addition. If we press Z, we can change between the weapon slots, and I guess I just click on my W because we need the other ones. Let's press A once again, and let's see what we unlocked. We got piercing shot, which is the E one. Fires a shot so powerful it pierces through any enemies it hits. And we got the ricochet. Okay, hello my friend, faceless. Thank you for the welcoming party. Oh boy. Could you please die? Thank you. By combining magic with durable arrows, your shots can hit your mark, then redirect to another target. Okay, this one costs 4 mana, 5 mana, 2 mana. Of course, the elemental one is the cheapest. Oh boy. Flaming Skull, of course. Nice. Okay, so things are getting a bit more serious. Oh boy. Huge flies. Mammoth wing. Okay. Maybe not the first thing I'd like to come across in real life is a mammoth wing huge guy. Small mana potion. Of course we need it. Oh boy, let's take him down. Maybe a nice potion and maybe a ricochet. Let's check out ricochet. Okay, we got the next level's entrance. Let's press R, also use a potion. Ooh, nice. Okay, they are dealing brutal amount of damage. That's not cool. We need a better weapon. Woohoo! Okay, just standing next to them is maybe not a good idea. And of course we got a flaming skull. A few of them, to be more precise. Let's just use the mana and I just changed to these ones, and hopefully blasting some cold spells will take them down. Awesome. Okay, so what about this one? Look at this. This is a crossbow. But I'm pretty sure this will be... Yes, so this one is dealing 1 to 4. And this one is dealing 2 to 6. But normal attack speed, normal attack speed. Okay, maybe. This is a nice addition. Let's see. And we are kind of out of potions, so we will see. Oh boy. Okay, so dealing better damage to them, definitely. But it's definitely slower. Cool, and of course no magical attunement to this crossbow. Okay, so interesting events. So we took down the first boss, and then we faced with a much better or much bigger difficulty immediately, and I think I'm not going to make it. Okay. Oh boy. So what we can do is view stats. Quest ends here. We can press new game, or we can load the game. I just saved. And we can have a really nice fresh start. Oh boy. Okay, yes. This is the other one. No, that was before the boss. But wait, we do have like a like autosave, which is here. Okay, really nice. So we still possess a bunch of potions in this autosave, and now we know what we can expect to that direction. So next time, for example, we can discover another direction, go there, get some levels, go back then, try to take down those mammoth wings, and you know, whatnot. So just really quickly summarize how Tower of Kalamonvo plays, because this is a really awesome slow-paced ARPG that I think if you like ARPGs, going to dig. If you're coming from like the older generations, quote-unquote older generations, you know, you are about 30 like me, you're going to find a bunch of nostalgia in this game, but not just nostalgia, but really nicely taught and enhanced mechanics for fighting, different types of spells, really cool abilities for the other weapons, starting 2 weapons, different types of difficulties in the game, a bunch of cool enemies, really great features. And if you wanna relive and replay and make new memories for the good old going down in the dungeon and taking down a bunch of enemies and bosses without going back to the town and trying to refill or recover, but instead up in a tower, Tower of Kalamonvo is an extremely great game to check out. It goes for like $11 or $12 currently, because this is the introductory price. I think it will go up to like 15, but it is a really decent price for a game with that amount of content in it. So for today, I was the Alchemist, and I'm seeing you with many awesome indie game gameplays extremely soon. Take care.